The Trump administration is now allowing 18-year-olds to join ICE. They've removed what little requirements they had, are actively soliciting with pay bumps of $50,000, student loan forgiveness that they're trying to take away from lots of other people, and all sorts of other incentives to get people to apply to be ICE officers. Interestingly, I saw several Florida sheriffs are now deeply worried that they're stealing deputies because they got all their information as part of the ICE local law enforcement partnership. So who could have saw that blowing up?
Right, and that actually comes after, Florida spent several years trying to recruit police officers from across the country to come down here, offering them $5,000 bonuses. So if you're one of those cops that moved to Florida, got your $5,000 bonus, now you can get another 50 grand switching and joining ICE. It's ridiculous, and what it's doing is creating this police state that we are starting to see. ICE's budget increased by tens of billions of dollars per year under the new budget. And they've said we want to hire tens of thousands of new people. And unfortunately for them, this is coming at a time when ICE agents, the existing ones, are reporting the highest levels of dissatisfaction with their jobs ever. A lot of them have realized we're the bad guys. We're being forced to camp out in courthouses to get people after their immigration hearings, the people doing it the legal way. And they're not happy with it, which is good to see. I'm really happy that you do have these agents waking up and saying, I can't do this anymore. But at the same time, the people that are going to sign up because I get 50 grand and I get to go be this, renegade ICE cop, this situation's about to get so much worse.
Well, it truly is disturbing because, to your point, anytime there's a mass hiring, it's generally not good. Quality goes down when mass hirings happen. There's not enough attention to be paid to instill institutional knowledge and how to do things the right way. And again, we were already having different crises. I am concerned, as you are, it sounds like, based the quality of the person who's going to be applying for this job, given the current environment that they're applying for it in. And quite frankly, I guess that it's good somebody's hiring given the state of the economy as more and more jobs are laying off for various reasons.
Well, and this reminds me a lot of something that happened during the W. Bush administration. At the height of the Iraq War, military recruitment was falling, bottoming out essentially. So what they did was they lowered the requirements, got rid of long-standing traditions of we're not going to take anybody that's been, convicted gang member. We're not going to take anybody that's been associated with a hate group. And they got rid of that in the, mid-2000s so they could recruit these people into the military. And the result of that was absolutely horrific. We ended up with soldiers who did not know what they were doing, who were grossly unqualified, many of them who typically probably wouldn't have passed a traditional psychological examination and should not have been trusted. And that's when we started to see this increase in what could only be defined as war crimes taking place. And now ICE is doing the same thing. We're not getting enough people, so let's bump it down to the 18-year-olds. If you're fresh out of high school, your graduation was yesterday, come join ICE today for $10,000 a year for an extra 5 years on top of your regular pay. They're going to get the worst of the worst. That's what's so terrifying is the worst of the worst will fall for this and go become these, new Gestapo.
Well, and two thoughts on that. First, during the first Trump presidency, they tried to hire a bunch of border agents, and they ended up hiring a rapist. They ended up bringing in cartel members, active cartel members, because the screening processes were relaxed to get as many bodies out there as possible, and they ended up recruiting the very people that they were allegedly trying to stop. So I think you're certainly going to see that. But the way in which they're recruiting, tapping the local law enforcement partners to try to get them to join, but also this kind of internet edgelord kind of thing where they're posting memes and stuff. And it's really disgusting to see the United States government doing this. I mean, any kind of professionalism or decorum out the window. And I know I shouldn't be surprised. My expectations continue to not be met. But it's targeting people, probably not the best actors and not the most intelligent people, if you can be swayed into a job by a meme.
Well, and that's reminiscent of this last week's episode of South Park. Where they made fun of that. And they had Kristi Noem go into South Park and start recruiting all these horribly incompetent and stupid people to be her new ICE agents. So South Park was a little bit ahead of the game on that, because this report, I think, kind of came out the same day that episode aired. But that's what you're going to get. That's what this is going to be. We're going to be in a real life episode of South Park, and the Trump administration may be okay with that, but I'm not. This is a tragedy, I think, waiting to happen.
Do you think ICE will be able to withstand, if democracy prevails and the Trump administration eventually ends, do you think that the Democrats need to disband ICE after this administration's over, given all that they've done? I mean, are you going to have to throw it out at this point?
I think all of the people that get hired, absolutely. As an institution, as part of the Department of Homeland Security, I think there could always be a necessity for at least a small force, not to have people patrolling the streets, not to be rounding up immigrants left and right. But yeah, there are issues where ICE can be useful, and that I think will always exist. But it's not going to be this 80,000 agent army on U.S. soil. And for the record, that's another thing these people have to consider as well. You think you're going to take this job and this is going to be your career. Trump's not going to be in charge forever. Maybe it's at the end of this 4-year term, maybe it's slightly after, who knows, but it's not going to be there forever, and your job that you're giving up everything for potentially is also not going to be there as soon as he is gone.
And that's pretty much the Trump playbook is, right? Yeah. Give up everything for me, and then as soon as you're no longer useful or I get bored, then you're ruined.